Are there any resources for those on LDN that are titrating off benzodiazepines? Is there any connection, by the way, or between, I guess that's between GABA receptors and opioid receptors and endorphins? Specifically science where LDN is used to help people titrate off their benzodiazepines. I personally haven't seen that. I don't know if Sam has, but I don't know if I can't literally think of a specific research article, but what I do know is that LDN works very well in addiction situations, whether it's alcohol, opiates, smoking, whatever. So that's where there are some similarities, right? So addictive properties are very similar no matter what it is that you're addicted to, even benzodiazepines. Benzodiazepines, depending on which ones they are, can have a little bit different affinity as to what's going on with the brain, the HPA axis, the hypothalamic pituitary axis. There can also be some micronutrient deficiencies associated with certain benzodiazepines and not others. So we also have to supplement those pathways very well. And that's where the GABA receptors connect in with the opiate receptors and the endorphins. You know, we're one whole body. We're not just areas. We're not just pieces, right? Absolutely, there's connection between GABA receptors, opiate receptors, and endorphin receptors. Maybe not head-to-head, one-to-one, but kind of, through the channels. So just like with a lot of processes in the body, whether you're dealing with the endocrine system or you're dealing with other neurotransmitter receptors, if you can kind of look at it as like the 5 Olympic rings. So there's 3 on the top and there's 2 on the bottom. There are 5 different colors. And through one, it kind of touches the other, and kind of circles around, right? There's still space in between them, but there is a little bit of overlap. So you can have connectivity between those, whether it's in the brain, centrally in the body cavity, or even in the gut, because you have opiate receptors, you have release of endorphins and GABA receptors, a lot of different places, not every single spot in the body, but all over. LDN can literally help with the tremors associated with addiction and getting off of your addictive property, your addictive drug. It can also help to allow you to feel kind of those emotions that are important to feel. So we use LDN in mental health a lot. Some people are on benzodiazepines because of mental health issues, or, benzodiazepines are handed out all the time for grief, right? So that you can sleep. Or even just to kind of like feel a little numb so you can get through this process. But absolutely, there is connection between the GABA, the opioid, and the endorphins. And because LDN helps to upregulate those endorphin receptors, that's where the good feels come in. That doesn't mean you can't use GABA or L-theanine or some of the other supplements to help regulate the HPA axis, ashwagandha, holy basil, magnolia, all of those things. You can still use those products even when you're on LDN, but you need to be using a very good functional provider who really understands those processes. This isn't just stuff that you want to go, well, she mentioned it, I'm just going to run over to, the next compounding pharmacy and grab this stuff off the shelf. Let's really pay attention to what's going on, because we don't want to take you from here all the way over to here, right? So we don't want that pendulum to swing too far where we don't want you to get into another set of symptoms that you're not familiar with. I hope that helped.